Greetings and welcome to Stranded Deep Experimental Build 0.05.E6 as we take a look at the latest experimental build, which has all sorts of new content. Well, basically it's building. It's got loads of building stuff and a few other bits and pieces here and there. There's been a few updates since the last update video, but they were pretty much just hot fixes and bug fixes and things like that. There was no real substantial content added. But in E6 we have major new additions, the primary one being the new building system, which we will take a look at in just a moment. I'm just going to row around the island a little bit here because something else that's been added, look, you can see in the background over there, that's my custom island that we built in the last experimental update. And you can now see that there is a kind of first-pass distant terrain there. We had like this big mound in the middle of the island, kind of like a little hill or something in the center of the island, and you can now see that the distant terrain is kind of reflecting that a little bit. You can see a few trees and stuff poking up through it, clipping through it. It's certainly not perfect. This is a first pass. I'm sure it will get improved as the development continues. But nonetheless, it's actually nice to see that now, at the very least, we've got kind of an indication of how big the island is and whether it's kind of all hilly and stuff. So fantastic. Well done to the devs for that. Okay, so I've stopped off at the starting island just to check that the new materials are actually spawning as part of the regular world generation, which they do appear to be. We have some corrugated scrap here, which all goes into the new building system. So let's take a quick look at that now. Here's the crafting menu. I think they've actually changed the look of this slightly. But let's take a look at buildings. So we've got driftwood panels, wood panels, plank panels, corrugated panels, and steel panels. Corrugated scrap we have. Can we just craft this? Oh, I actually don't need a hammer anymore to craft it. Let's just plonk it down. There we go. Look, we have a corrugated panel balanced brilliantly on its side there. Absolutely fantastically. Can we knock it over? Hello? Hup. No, it actually... Oh! Apparently hitting it with your knife immediately destroys it. It has no damage states, no hit points. It's just either there or gone. Well, this is a first pass system, so, you know, we can forgive them. Look, we've got wood planks as well, so if we just press the C to bring up the crafting menu, have a look at the panels. Driftwood panel, craft that. Oh, yeah, look, that's quite nice. Pow! There we go. The way it teeters, but then stands perfectly. This, ooh, look at that. What happens if I place it in the ground? Okay, it pops out of the ground and falls over. And is then locked in place. Nice, though. Look, it's got little palm fronds on it. It's nice. It's looking quite nice. There's probably more materials around here somewhere, but let's just head over to our island that we created last time, because I went into the map editor and, oh look, a stick and a rock, and I dumped a whole load of materials just down on the ground so that I would have access to everything I could possibly need to build and explore the new building system and show off basically everything that's there. I'll probably leave a proper structure until a later video. I'll do another video where I'll spend a little bit more time constructing something a bit fancier and a bit nicer. But for now, I'm just going to try and show off all of the various building components and combinations that you can create. Also, as we row across there, we can take a little look and see if there are multiple load levels. That's level of... Oh, there we go, look. As I was talking about it, the island in the background, it briefly went through a slightly improved load state, I think, and then all of the vegetation and various other props and things popped into existence. So there's still quite a lot of pop-up, but honestly, it's a huge improvement anyway over the way it used to be, because you can now actually tell which island is which based purely on its distant geometry. And I'm sure as time goes on and they optimize and they improve, we'll see ever more realistic looking islands from a distance. Alright, here we go. We've arrived at the island. I've literally just littered the beach with a mass of crafting materials here. All of these new crafting materials have properly sort of like physics bits and bobs, which you can just scatter around on your island liberally and make use of, which is exactly what we're going to do now. Let's make one of each. We'll just get them in. So we'll get a driftwood foundation, craft that. So here's a driftwood foundation, and we'll just put this. Let's actually put it going out into the sea, shall we? Because that'd just be awesome. That'll just be totally awesome. So we'll go like that. There we go. It's kind of ramshackle. It's a bit rickety. I imagine that will be one of the cheapest and easiest things to build. Now just a wood foundation, which will clip onto the side. I mean, we'll snap onto the side. Plank foundation. So it's getting fancier. It's like most ramshackle, slightly less ramshackle. Actually quite nice, quite well crafted. Corrugated foundation. Pow, we'll put that there. Jump up here. We're actually losing the light. We might have to wait till tomorrow. There we go. Corrugated foundation. And the last one is a steel foundation. Scrap steel. We don't actually have any scrap steel in our range, but if we get a bit closer over here, there is some scrap steel. Look, let's go and pick it up. Fine, it's fine. We're just going to pick it up. Scrap steel. Pick up, pick up, pick up. And foundation. Scrap steel. Craft that. Let's just put it. Oh, fine, we'll put it there. There we go. Just as we lose the light, it's a nice little steel platform. I mean, this is like, I mean, that's some proper work there. Hopefully, you're actually going to need some kind of tools or something in the release version of this to build something like this steel platform. I mean, of the idea that you just take a bit of scrap steel and with your bare hands, or even just with a hammer, somehow produce a beautiful platform like this riveted together. Is a bit crazy, so it'd be nice if maybe they add like a little rivet gun or something into the game, or some power tools, and then there's like maybe like a solar panel. I mean, I'm getting crazy now. It's true. I'm getting totally carried away. But it would be nice to have things to aspire to. It's one of the things, actually, it's a bit of a bugbear in a lot of these survival games that I have, that there's relatively little progression. It's kind of like very quickly you just kind of have access to everything that you can do in it. And it would be nice if, you know, in order to build these kind of like, you know, really sturdy structures, we actually had to build up some infrastructure first, you know, get some power generation going, get some like some tools and stuff built up, maybe get like a little workshop or something built, and allow us to actually craft some of these more sturdy and more impressive types of structures. Seeing as the sun's down, I'm just going to have a little wander around and see what I can find in case there's some like torches and stuff around here. So, alright, so that's the foundation materials. That's all the foundation materials covered. Now if we take a look at walls. So, from walls we've got driftwood, wood, plank, tarp, corrugated, container, and steel. So quite a number of different combinations there. And walls, of course, are made out of panels. So first we have to make the panels that they go with. So I guess you can either have the panels just kind of placed on their own, or you can use them up when you're crafting walls. They're probably actually intended to be used up in crafting walls, and probably doors and things like that as well. I'm just going to plonk down one of each type, and where should I put this? I suppose if I just sort of just put them all over here with everything else. There we go, and a plank panel is the next one. This, of course, should be... Oh, there we go. Plank panel. This should be a little bit fancier looking. Yeah, look, it's a little bit more substantial. Corrugated panel, next one. We'll pop that one down as well. We'll just pile them one on top of another. And then, of course, the steel panel, the big beastie of them. Look at that. Looking awesome. Fantastic. All right. So now we've got all the different panels. We can now turn these into walls. So wall just requires the relevant panel and then a foundation to attach it to. And possibly these can be done on floors as well. But for now, let's just put them on a foundation. So we've got all the different types again that we've previously created, apart from container, which I don't have the raw resources for, I'm afraid. But let's start with driftwood, the most of the ramshackle. And as you can see, it does snap, but it can be a little bit awkward, I have to say. I think it's easier if you step out from the side and sort of like look at it. Hold on, there we go. Yeah, from like directly face on to where you want it to be, from the outside. Let's go with the wood wall. There it is. Sorry, where is it? Wood wall. There it is. Craft that, and we'll bolt that on. I love that one. I really like that one. I love the little palm fronds just kind of like sheltering you. Next one, of course, the wood panels, or the wood planks, sorry. We'll pop that one on there. That's going to be relatively substantial. Probably one of the better ones for protecting you from the actual elements. I can't imagine the driftwood being much protection from the elements. There's a tarp. Oh, that's good as well. Look at that, it's blowing in the wind. The answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. Anyway, moving on, let's build ourselves a corrugated wall there. That's looking pretty good. And then, of course, the final one, the big daddy, the steel wall. We'll chuck that right on the end, look. And, where is it? There it goes. Ready? Pow! There it is. Nice. Oh, that is looking good. That's looking very good. I can't wait to actually build something a bit more substantial out of this lot. We do have floors, so I guess we can put second stories on to our buildings and things. Should we try doing that just now? Let's do it. We'll jump up here. I guess floors are going to be made of all the same materials. Yeah, they'll probably look pretty much like the foundations, but let's just plonk one down. Nice! Oh, yes. I mean, I haven't made the most impressive structure in the universe, it has to be said. Let's just put a couple of these on. Wood steps. Looks like we've only got one type of wood steps right now. Let's try it around the back here. Maybe there we go. Look, it clips onto the back. So it has to have like a floor or a foundation at the bottom and at the top for it to snap to. And it's the same old placeholder steps that we saw in the last time I tried to do some building. It's not the most impressive in the world, but at least it's functional. Look, we can go up onto our second floor here. Can we put a door up here? The button does not seem to work. I guess that button works. Alright, so I guess that means that doors have not been implemented yet. I assume we will see them in a version to come, hopefully in the not too distant future. Excellent. Alright, so I think that's pretty much it as far as the different materials and the different things that you can do with the buildings. Obviously, you can make these as large and convoluted as you want. You can have all sorts of different sections to them. You can have multiple floors. You can mix and match the materials together in interesting ways to achieve all sorts of different effects, which would be awesome. And I really do hope as well that we have this kind of progression in the game, the main game, once the main game sort of catches up with the experimental build. And that, you know, the driftwood is really easy to build, and that's what your first structures are made out of, and then you slowly graduate to these like more advanced types of building materials and better types of protection, and that then has a mechanical benefit in the game to helping you to survive and thrive and generally have a great old time on the Stranded Deep Island. Alright, so I think we have covered all of the basics of this update. We've taken a look at all the various different materials, with the one exception of containers, which I shall totally leave deliberately for you to discover on your own in the update, so as not to spoil everything. Yeah, that's the reason why I did it. Honest governor. I have to say, though, very quickly, it's fantastic to start seeing regular updates to Stranded Deep again. We had a little bit of a drought there in the middle of the year, but it seems like things are happening thick and fast now. I was just messing around there. I've actually managed to clip that foundation into the other foundation. I don't know if that's meant to work like that, but actually I kind of hope you can do that, because you'll be able to build more interesting and varied structures if you can indeed clip things into each other, as I have done there. Fantastic. Alright, well, thanks a lot, everybody, for watching. I hope you enjoyed this Stranded Deep update video in the experimental branch. There will be more covering any new major content additions, so if you haven't done so already, you might want to think about subscribing to the channel. There's also a whole load of other crazy random stuff, including survival games and, I don't know, just a whole load of stuff. Take a look if you're interested, and don't if you're not. Fantastic. Alright, well, thanks a lot for watching, everybody. I have been Weird Wizard, and I will see you later. So yeah, I built that. It's not turned out quite as quaint and little as I had originally intended. In fact, it's ridiculous. It is an impossible tower. I mean, look at this thing. If we just activate our wizard powers and fly up